Across Canada, we heard a similar story.
Beer, baseball, and barbecue is a great way to spend a summer vacation.
Canadians with big plans to travel to the U.S.
Do golf trip, watch the Masters.
To spend time with friends or to see loved ones.
I would go a few times a year to visit family.
But all three of these Canadians say that this year will be different. Travel to the U.S. is off the table.
I told my buddies I can't travel to a country that's threatening to annex us in good conscience.
Take John DeRue from Vancouver Island.
So when I say they should be a state, I mean that.
He said it was the rhetoric from President Donald Trump about making Canada the 51st state that pushed him to pull the plug on a group trip to Phoenix.
We don't find this funny.
Same goes for Heath Graham of Saskatoon in central Canada. He had plans for a 10-day road trip ending in Austin, Texas.
Barbecue-themed trip.
But now he's trading ribs and brisket for whitewater rafting in northern Canada.
I don't think it's safe to go down there anymore.
And then there's Casey Broughton of Montreal, who identifies as transgender and is also blaming politics for why a visit to see family in Washington, D.C. won't be happening.
How is it that it took all this to get Canadians to appreciate that we have a beautiful country we should see more of?
And these three Canadians are part of a broader trend of Canadians canceling trips in a backlash fueled by tariffs and the fiery rhetoric coming out of the White House. Preliminary data for April from Statistics Canada shows that the number of land trips by Canadians out of the U.S. plummeted by over 35% compared to last year, while air trips dropped by nearly 20%.
We're the tourism capital of the world.
Last month, President Trump dismissed this dip in tourism and the role his rhetoric might be playing.
There's a little nationalism there, I guess, perhaps. It's not a big deal.
Meanwhile, beyond Canada, the numbers are a bit more mixed. Preliminary data from the National Travel and Tourism Office shows that international visitors from outside Canada and Mexico dropped by some 12% in March compared to the year before, but then increased in April by 8%. And this up and down data makes it hard to predict what level of travel we'll see from overseas visitors this summer.
These overseas travelers are absolutely critical to the American economy.
Jeff Freeman, the president of the U.S. Travel Association, says these international travelers spend roughly $180 billion in the U.S. every year, making up a fifth of the entire travel industry.
It's not too late. We can regain these travelers. The most important thing we can do, though, is send a message that we want their business.
The Golden State and Canada have always shared so much in common.
And that's what many state leaders have tried to do, unveiling ads like this one featuring California's Governor Gavin Newsom.
Or you know who's trying to stir things up back in D.C., but don't let that ruin your beach plans.
But will this messaging work on everyday Canadians?
Sorry, it's just,
At least for now, the Canadians that we spoke with say it's done little to change their minds.
It's forever changed our relationship. We wish we could go back to the U.S., but for right now, it's just sort of off the table.
In Washington, I'm Evan Koslof, Spectrum News.